Alright, before we get started, I wanted to take a look at the Unit 1 objectives for Google Docs. So far, we have covered almost all of the objectives. What's left to cover in this video is checking spelling, undo and redo, sharing, and margins. Before we get started, I wanted to show you where we are heading. So we are going to create this flyer in this video. The two things that are a little different than what we've done before, we are going to change the page orientation to landscape, which means turning it sideways, and we are also going to change the margins. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I know that you have multiple ways of creating a new Google Docs file. You could create it in Drive, you could create it by clicking on your Docs app, or you could create it directly in Google Classroom. It is up to you how you want to create your Docs file for this assignment. I personally am going to create directly from Google Drive, just so I can keep it organized with some of my other Docs assignments. So I'll go to New and Google Docs. As always, before we get started, we want to change or title our document. So let's go ahead and title this Learn Karate. Now to start off, we want to change our margins, page color, and our orientation. To do that, we go to File and Page Setup. Now our top and bottom margins will both be 0.5 inches. We will change the orientation to landscape, which means turning it sideways, and our page color will be yellow. Once we have those changes, we can hit OK. Now let's start entering our information. As you can see, I always put in all of the information before formatting, just so I can make sure it all fits on one page. We'll put in our headline of Learn Karate, leave a blank space for pictures later, so we're going to hit enter twice after karate, and let's go ahead and put in our information. Now I went ahead and copied and pasted the information from another file. Don't start typing it just yet. As you can see, the information has a few spelling errors. So to fix spelling errors, we go to Tools, Spelling, and Spelling. Now we can go through and change all of the spelling errors that we think should be changed. So Advanced, Youth, Aerobic, Alertness, Sportsmanship, and Today. Now spell check is amazing, but you also have to edit your information yourself, because you could have spelled a word correctly, but you used a completely wrong word. Spell check won't pick up on that. So don't rely on spell check for everything. Now let me go ahead and zoom in for this information so you can type it into your document. So zoomed in using Control+. Now you can pause on that and start typing. Now that we have all of our information inserted, let's go ahead and start formatting. This headline we are going to change to Font Impact. And remember, if you don't have a font in your list, always can go to More Fonts. So Impact, size 72. It's going to be centered. The text color will be dark blue 3. And the highlight will be dark yellow 3. As for the rest of the information, we will highlight. We will change to Playfair Display. Size 25, so we will have to put in a custom font size. And then for font color, we will go with blue. Oops, I accidentally highlighted it blue, so we'll undo that and change our text color to blue. Now that I've used the undo and redo, these are really simple tools on your toolbar. If you make a mistake, undo. If you want that mistake that you made, maybe it wasn't a mistake and you want it back, you can redo. So those are pretty easy to use, and you'll probably use them a lot. All right, let's format the signature line. We are going to highlight the signature line, which is the last line on the page. This will be changed to size 36. Roboto Mano. and then we will center it. Now the last bit of formatting is we want to add a bulleted list to our information. So you can see each of these 3 lines is on its own line, so we can highlight it. And let's go ahead and bullet that list. The last step in this video will be inserting the images. So remember, we saved this extra space so that we can put the images in there. So move your cursor to that blank line, insert, image, and search from web. We will go ahead and search karate. And let's just go with this image to start. As you can see, it's fairly large, so we're going to hold shift and resize this image so that we can get it to the point where everything fits on one page. But remember, we're holding shift while we do that so that we don't end up distorting the image while resizing. Next, we want to go to image options and recolor this image so that it is blue. Now to put in a second image, we must move our cursor next to this first one. If we leave this image selected and put in another image, all we're going to do is replace this image. So move your cursor next to it, and let's go back and get another image from the web. And we'll go ahead and pick something similar but a little different. And let's resize them so that they are the same size. So as you can see, I'm holding shift every time I resize so that I get it the same size or not distorted. So we'll recolor this one to blue as well, and then we'll center it. Now, if we hit Control- a few times, we can zoom out. Double check that we have all of our information on one page and we've completed each step of the project. Once we've done that, we are done.